Hey, everybody, welcome to the SkyLounge podcast, episode number 209. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode. Follow me at the SkyLounge on SoundCloud, iTunes, and Google Music, and also check out the SkyLounge on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Without further ado, let's get shit started with episode number 209, the gluttonous consumption and worship of glorious Jojo. Jojo's Bizarre Adventure Admiration. My, oh my, kids. We are back with another episode today. Yeah, 2 in less than 12 hours. And it is a bit of an overcompensation from skipping the episode on Saturday. And, one of the main reasons why I skipped recording on Saturday was because I was trying to finish up the series. At least the last 9 episodes. Very fucking late. So, I had to push the episodes back. But here we sit with episode number 209, talking about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Now, for those of you not in the know, you might be asking yourself, what is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure? Specifically, those of you who don't catch up with Japanese shit, anime, manga, any of that shit. So, it's a fair question. It's a totally fair question. And to answer that question, I gotta talk about the legend himself, Hirohiko Araki. Music enthusiast, horror film lover, and manga writing god. I mean, this mangaka who started his career in 1980 created the JoJo Bizarre Adventure series in 1987. And he's very well known for his gratuitous use of gore and profanity in his works, a very typical thing in seinen series, which is kind of like shonen series, but more geared towards late teen and adults in their 30s and shit. So Araki is just this unbelievable monster when it comes to creating mangas. And, with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, it's popular. It's been around for decades for a fucking reason. It's that good. And so you got this series, JoJo Bizarre Adventure, which involves the titular protagonist named Jojo, different for each parts, by the way, usually going on a bizarre adventure with several companions that ends up becoming a battle of good and evil, usually Team Jojo being on the side of good, and obviously lots of variations here and there in every part, right? Hence JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, kids. Ha ha! Doesn't that work? Yes, it does. Yes, it fucking does. But here's the thing. Aside from the series being really, really good, the memes is what keeps this shit so fresh. All right? Because despite the fact that right now, there is no news of Part 6 becoming an anime at any point in the near future, the memes from the fan base keep the series fresh. It keeps the series alive, and it reels in more people. People like me, who are just blasted with fucking JoJo memes. And eventually I thought, maybe I should just fucking watch this thing. And then it became a deep dive down into the JoJo verse. And here's the thing, man. The JoJo's Bizarre Adventure series went through several iterations of attempted OVAs and films in the early 2000s unsuccessfully. And it wasn't really until 2012 with David Production that JoJo's Bizarre Adventure really took off. And the great thing about David Production is they incorporate a lot of the visual styles from the manga to the anime. And at certain points, it even looks like the manga, like an actual manga, because of the way they cut scenes or the way they use color palettes and shit. So very, very unique style of anime. I can imagine even more so as a manga. Still haven't read the manga yet, so something that I definitely have to check out in the near future. But the archives for the series is massive right now, man. The series has been going on since 1987, and there are currently 8 parts. 8 parts. All of those 8 parts are available on the manga right now. And the first 5 parts are animated. So I want to read you some of these parts, the dates, in terms of anime, how many episodes they include. So If you're interested, bear along with me, kids. A lot of reading. Not really a lot of reading. We're just listing shit off. But part 1, Phantom Blood, 1987. The anime aired in 2012 with 9 episodes, followed by part 2, Battle Tendency, manga from 1987 to 1989, the anime from 2012 to 2013, consisting of 17 episodes. Then you follow that up with part 3, Stardust Crusaders, that had the manga series go on from 1989 to 1992, the anime being released between 2014 and 2015 in 2 separate parts, 24 episodes each part. That's 48, kids. I did some math for you there. And you follow that up with part 4, Diamond is Unbreakable, the manga series going on from 1992 to 1995, and the anime airing in 2016 with 39 episodes. And part 5, Vento Aureo, or Golden Wind, that aired from 2018 in the anime and 1995 to 1999 in the manga. And the anime series has 39 episodes, and it is the latest anime series for the JoJo Bizarre Adventure title. And then you have the latter 3 parts, which are all mangas right now, with part 6, Stone Ocean, that came out from 2000 to 2003, part 7, Steel Ball Run, 2004 to 2011, and part 8, JoJolion, 2011 to the present day. And that is a shit ton of fucking reading material if you ever need to do so, right? But again, I still haven't read the manga. So what we want to do here today is dissect the anime here a little bit, right? Because I spent at least a good month just powering through the series. And yeah, it's no fucking bragging finishing an anime series in a month. I know there are cats who can fucking finish that shit like in a week, but I'm slow. I procrastinate, and yeah, I tend to, I guess with good anime, if I don't want to just burn out quickly, I want to, rest and then rest and watch. So that's the satisfying thing about this series right now, and the way I've watched it is I took my time with it, and it's been fantastic. And holy hell, there are so many things that you can dissect with this anime. And I want to just dissect a couple of simple things, like best opening song, best parts, and the best JoJo. Right? 3 simple things that obviously become such a fucking huge point of contention anytime in the JoJo fan base. And I'm not gonna fucking lie to you. I don't really give a shit about other people's opinions, right? I'm just gonna tell you what the fuck I feel. And I'll start off with this. Best fucking opening song in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is in part 2. Bloody Stream by Coda. Style, music, animation, right amount of plot reveal. It's perfection. It's fucking perfection. Okay? And this is the curious thing. Because I start noticing, while perusing through social media, in the JoJo fan base, there's not a lot of love for part 2. There's not a lot of love for part 2. And part 2 might be one of my fucking favorite. Like, it is my favorite fucking part. Straight up, it is. But it doesn't get enough respect, doesn't get enough love. And certainly, Bloody Stream by Coda is an opening that doesn't get enough respect nor love, despite the fact that, really, it is the fucking best opening. Although, there are a few that I have to shout. The variations of Great Days by Karen Aoki and Daisuke Hasegawa is absolutely incredible. They fuck with the visuals that goes along with the story, and it's absolutely wonderful. And it's actually part of Diamond is Unbreakable, the latter few episodes in that arc and part. But also a shout to Fighting Gold by Coda, the first opening song for part 5, at least the first few episodes. And Crazy Noisy Bizarre Town, but they say Bizarre, and I just kind of go along with that shit, by the DU. And yeah, man, their songs are all fantastic. I'm not gonna lie to you, I like all the opening songs. Like, and the reason why I just bring these ones specifically is the ones that, in my mind, are top dogs. But again, it's not to discount nor slander the other openings because the openings in JoJo is amazing. Okay, David Production really go out of their way to make these openings so appealing, so well fucking done. And at least with, okay, so as I recall, 1, 2, and 3 for the parts, they incorporate like CG, animation, and all this other stylistic shit in it to really pop out. And that's awesome. But by part 4 and 5, it's just pure, just sexy animation. And that's something that you can absolutely appreciate. So each and every opening for JoJo is great. It's great. But I point at the ones like Bloody Stream, Great Days, Fighting Gold, and Crazy Noisy Bizarre Town because that's my favorites. Those are the ones that pop for me. And really, it's always a difference of opinions, right? Always a difference of opinions. You're allowed to have different opinions, kids. I don't give a fuck what the fuck you think. But god damn it, man. You got cats out there playing that absolute shit. Right? Oh, this series isn't good. This part isn't good. It's like, no, the fuck you talking about, bro? They're all good. It's just people categorize shit differently, right? Like I say this, I love all the openings for JoJo. And to, obviously get to that next point, I love every single part of JoJo that I've watched. Parts 1 through 5 animated are brilliant. They are absolutely fucking brilliant. Each and every part is special. They're great. They're awesome. Like, they are fucking home runs, all of them. But if you tell me to rank them based on my opinion, I will give you a rank, and it might not be perfect, but this is what I think. Part 2, Part 5, Part 3, Part 1, Part 4. And if you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, it's okay. We're going to specify this here a little bit. So again, let's go through this rank again. Number 1. All right, maybe let's go reverse. Maybe let's go reverse. Rewind time, or more like Kira Yoshikage's stand, which, spoilers, it rewinds time. But again, if you haven't watched JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, just completely over your head. You have no idea what I'm talking about. But let's start with number 5. Part 4, Diamond is Unbreakable. I love this series. I love Part 4, but there's such an inconsistency with this part. In 39 fucking episodes, you're trying to get from point A to point B, and getting to point B feels like a fucking eternity. You're trying to figure out this whole serial killer mystery, and then along the way, there's all these weird distractions that happen. Fun distractions, mind you, but it's a bit irritating at times. And the prolonged fucking crazy, noisy, bizarre town adventure that, yeah, it is a bit disappointing at times compared to the others. But again, great part. I still love this part. I mean, there are so many moments about Diamond is Unbreakable that I absolutely care for. I love. Joseph Joestar, go a bit senile, old as shit, worn out warrior. Jotaro Kujo, different fucking man, but still just this OP stand user. All the characters that's introduced in Morio, like Josuke, Okuyasu, Koichi, crazy fucking stalker Koichi bitch, Rohan Kishibe. There are so many fucking great characters in that part. But again, I feel like the narrative really hampers this part down. And that's why I would put that in number 1, number 5. Jesus. I said reverse, and I fucking confused myself because I'm a fucking idiot. Hence, kids, we are going for the goddamn pipe. To keep our brains straight, And I'll tell you what, man. Keeping it straight, we got to talk about number 4 in the ranking. It's part 1, Phantom Blood. And a lot of people rank Phantom Blood the lowest when you rank JoJo parts animated. But here's the thing about part 1. The only reason why I would have it at number 4 is because it's only 9 episodes long. It's very, 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 very short, despite how significant and important the actual part is. This is the foundation for the entire JoJo series. Jonathan Joestar, Dio, the Zeppelis, the fucking Speedwagon Foundation, and Mr. R.E.O. Speedwagon himself, Robert E.O. Speedwagon, the best waifu himself. I mean, that's part 1. It introduces Hamon, it introduces vampires, all this mystical shit starts with part 1. And again, the only reason why I would put that at number 4, it's 9 fucking episodes. It's not that long. And at times it feels very rushed because you're powering through 9 fucking episodes. But the characters, the fucking drive from point A to point B, so much sweeter, so much better if you're comparing it to part 4. So for me, Phantom Blood, as much as it's the foundation and starter, I would still have to put it at number 4. It's not strong enough. Where number 3 is where people are going to have a lot of issues with, but I'm going to give you my reason as to why part 3 Stardust Crusaders is ranked number 3. Okay? 48 episodes long. Pretty long, right? Pretty long journey. And certainly there are parts that feel like they're excessive or fillers, but it's all part of the longer journey. And for all the reasons I was shit on Diamond Unbreakable for being long, it's kind of like the duality for Stardust Crusaders, where it's not great that it's that long, but it's pretty awesome that it's this long journey to Egypt with homies, the Joestar group. And that kind of long journey, I mean, it makes it feel by the end of the journey like it's worth it. Like from point A to point B, as long as we took to get there, it feels like a worthwhile journey. And of course, man, the fucking characters, the concepts, everything that's introduced in part 3 is, again, a huge, huge, huge branch into everything that happens afterwards. Stans, fucking Dio, Stardust Crusaders, the cats who fucking fight off Dio, and obviously Jotaro, Joseph Joestar, even Polnareff to a certain degree. They all have significant impacts as characters beyond part 3. But part 3 for me, as many memes and, fans of part 3 there is, I don't think it's the best part. I certainly don't think it's the second best part if you're comparing it to the other two. And yeah, there's really not much more to say about part 3, honestly. I think as good as it is, it's not part 2 or part 5. And this is where shit's gonna get a little rocky, kids. Okay? A little rocky, kids. Puns for days! Nihon puns. But we want to talk about number 2. And number 2 in the ranking, it's not something that I'm going to poo-poo on, but it's Vento Aureo, Golden Wind. Yeah, I know for majority of JoJo fans, Part 5 is their favorite animated version. It is, because what's not to love about Part 5? Characters, story, music, animation style. Brilliant. Just brilliant stuff. But something about Part 5, I don't know what it is. It's just not Part 2. And I know that's a weak explanation, but hear me out. Okay, hear me out. And let me tell you why part 2 is the best JoJo part, period. Period. First of all, you continue off of the foundation from part 1, which again, as I said, is important to build for the entire fucking series. And part 2 makes it better. It goes beyond part 1, makes itself better, makes the character more makes the JoJo more relatable. As great as Jonathan Joestar is, kids, the perfect gentleman, Joseph Joestar, the star of part 2, is classic. This man is the best. And spoiler, I'm absolutely going to say Joseph Joestar is the best JoJo, but you have this protagonist, Joseph Joestar, the JoJo of part 2, who is witty, charming, just not normal to say, for lack of better words. And he uses that kind of eccentric nature in himself to make this series so interesting, so fun. And I say series because Joseph is not only in part 2, he's in part 3 and part 4 prominently. And so him being introduced in part 2 is one of these things where you think, oh, this is a different character. This cat is going to bring out the best in JoJo. And he does. Because he's eccentric, because he's so different from, I would say, a good chunk of all the other JoJos. Very good-hearted, very serious, very, I don't know, abrasive young cats. But Joseph Joestar, man, got this guy, dude, just living his best fucking life in part 2 and gets introduced to all this concept that were thrown to us from part 1. And again, it goes to fucking steroid level in part 2. The music gets so much fucking better. Characters introduced, cling to you. The memes are over 9,000 in terms of quality. And seriously, dude, what other fucking part or any fucking anime series can you say, thank God the Germans are coming? Specifically, thank God the Nazi Germans are coming. I know, only in JoJo can you say that shit and get away with it, okay? Because Stroheim represents the best. Because German science is the best in the world, kids. You don't know what I'm talking about? Again, you just go watch JoJo right now. Part 2, dude. I mean, what, 19 episodes? Is that right? Let me just double check here with the goddamn thing. 17 episodes, kids. 17 fucking episodes. That part gets the story, characters, music, everything done so well and so impactfully in 19 episodes that, to me, it's perfect. If you can get that shit, whittle that shit down into 20 some odd episodes, good. Great. You're doing something awesome. You're not dragging people along on this insanely fucking prolonged journey. You're not fucking just skimping out with half of that shit. I'm not shitting on Phantom Blood. I'm just saying 9 episodes isn't as much. But 17 episodes right there, just impactful, concise, but brilliant. And this is why part 2 is my favorite. And again, I'm not shitting on part 5. I think part 5 is awesome. It's amazing. But if part 2 didn't exist, it would absolutely be number 1. But part 2 does exist, so part 5 is number 2. Right? And same thing goes for the best JoJo. If it wasn't for Joseph Joestar, I think Giorno Giovanna is the best fucking JoJo. I love that guy. Because part 5, Giorno Giovanna is one of those characters where you can't really hate on him. Such a kind-hearted kid, does everything right. You cheer for him every single step of the way, but the reason you cheer for Joseph Joestar is because he's flawed, because he's imperfect, because he makes all these faux pas, and it's wonderful. It's the best. All those nerds saying Jotaro Kujo is the best JoJo, get the fuck out of here, man, you fucking newbie. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Oh, I'm fucking silent and cool. Dude, I'd rather have the fucking wacky guy who runs away, but still destroys the ultimate life form. Can your protagonist say that shit? Majority of them can't. Not even in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Just saying, man. Just fucking saying. Joseph did it. Joseph fucking did it at like 19 years old. Although, yeah, to be fair, I mean, Josuke's 16 in part 4. Jotaro's 17. Giorno Giovanna's 15, so age doesn't really have much to do with it. I'm trying to defend Joseph Joestar here. Dude's the best JoJo. All right? So, that's my thoughts on the anime. And it's something that I have just fallen so in love with that I want to do extra homework for this shit, right? The next step into the JoJo admiration. And you might be asking yourself, what's the next step? Like what possible other fucking next steps can you take to become more of a fucking weeb than you already are? Well, fuck you, motherfucker. I like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I don't really give a shit if I get that title of weeb, otaku, or whatever the fuck. I like what I like. And JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is something that incorporates not only just Japanese culture, manga, and anime, it's all this other shit that happens along with it. The English, the music that Araki just throws in there, you know, based on his favorite bands, names, songs, and fashion, philosophy, history, all this shit just bashed in there. It's a fucking amazing series. So for me, the next step has to be reading the manga. Of course, reading the manga. Maybe straight from part 6 or starting back from part 1, but that's to be determined. But definitely reading the manga is a key thing that I want to do moving forward. Watching the part 1 and part 2 movie edits, they are available on Crunchyroll, kids, if you are interested in watching some JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. The part 1 and part 2 movies are very short, condensed formats of part 1 and 2. But I ask you, I mean, they're 26 episodes in total. It's not that long, but yeah, I also understand that most people don't want to sit through 6 episodes of anime. So totally understandable if you just want to watch a movie. And I just want to watch a movie because I want to see the different aspects of the anime and the movie edits. So that's one for me. And watching the Rohan OVA, because yes, there's more emphasis in producing these OVAs for David Production than trying to animate a new part for JoJo, which fans are adamant and boisterous and annoying about. But honestly, we got 5 great parts, and we have a good amount of archive for the JoJo manga, so I don't know why people are fucking complaining all that much. You still have a great, OVA that you can check out in the Rohan OVA. So there's also that. And then eventually rewatching the entire series in casual mode, meaning not really watching it, but watching it, just having it on in the background. You ever have those fucking times you just fucking put on a TV show, you're just trying to take a nap and you just leave it on and fall asleep because you're not really focused on it? Yeah, kind of that thing. But also follow that up with buying the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Eyes of Heaven video game. If the price ever fucking goes down to like $30 or $20, because right now the bundle's like $59.99, and your boy is not about to pay $60 fucking for a goddamn video game right now. A video game that's been out for like 6 years. I'm not about to do that shit. Okay? So that, kids, is the level of addiction I get with shit I start admiring or just start falling for. And JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, man, it has just been amazing. Absolutely amazing. One can't argue that it may have become one of my all-time favorite anime series, although that is a topic for another fucking day, which is going to require a lot of research, because I don't know what my favorite anime series would be right now. I would probably have like a top 10, maybe, but again, very, very difficult to determine. But what I know isn't difficult is something I'm about to recommend to you kids. Ultimately, watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. It's awesome. Do it. Do it! Or don't. It's your choice. Live your life how you want, kids. And on the next episode of the Sky Lounge, we got some sports ball shit coming tomorrow. All right? All right, motherfuckers. I appreciate you dropping by this episode again, because we had 2 episodes today, kids. So if you want, go ahead, go back to episode number 208, see what we did there. But hey, that's the end of this episode. So follow me at the Sky Lounge on SoundCloud, iTunes, and Google Music. And also check out the Sky Lounge on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Until next time, fuck off.